How is your Tuesday going? Well, look, my original guest, Dan McCory, ended up getting delayed today. He had a book signing and he's going to have to reschedule to come on the show today. But I was definitely looking forward to his interview, but he's going to reschedule. But I couldn't let you down. I did have a whole lot of other juice I wanted to come and talk to you about. I want to come to you with KurveUncensored recaps it. So we're going to move in that direction as opposed to the more serious topics. We're going to talk about the juice a little bit. So basically, I want to talk to you guys. Have you all been following the corrections officer that helped the inmate escape? I know everyone heard about it, Vicky White, and the inmate's name was Casey White. Well, they were on the run for I think about 11 days or something like that. She actually helped him escape, but initially they were trying to act like, well, they wasn't sure, whereas they had to finally come out with it that she actually helped him escape, right? Well, they ended up catching up with them. I believe it was yesterday or whatnot, but she ended up self-inflicted a gunshot wound to herself, and she ended up dying. It was reported that Vicky died. She was 56, and Casey, which was the inmate, was I believe 38. Yeah, 38. And I'm like, what would make a person do something like that? She had like over 20 years with the sheriff's department, and she worked in Lauderdale Corrections. And I just don't understand what will make someone risk their whole career, their everything they've worked so hard for, to do something like that. To be real honest with you, I think that they need to reconsider. What do y'all think? I think they need to reconsider having female correction officers with the males over the males. Now, for more reasons than one, but a lot of times, I know with the feminist movement and all this, women are created. We're trying to be created equal and recognized and all of that stuff, but safety purposes, and also I feel like a lot of those inmates sometimes prey on some of the officers. They may seem may be a little more vulnerable, and they actually prey on them, and they kind of they locked up. I mean, this guy here, he had serious charges, capital murder. He actually stabbed a woman multiple times and murdered her, and she was privy to his background and what he was in jail for. And she actually helped him escape. And being a female, she was putting herself at risk. She sold her home. She did a lot of stuff just to get away to be with this man. And so I'm thinking, tell me what you guys think. I don't think I have one of my viewers are saying they agree. I don't think women need to be over those men. It's just too risky. I I just I even before this case, I've heard of other cases where this happened, and I just don't think it's a safe for safety issues. Men are naturally stronger than most women. Not all women now, but most women, they are stronger than them. And I just think for safety purposes and for this very purpose, the manipulation and things like that, I don't think women should be in the same environment with those men. But she did commit suicide. She shot herself. They rushed her to the hospital. She later died, and he's back in jail. And now they're saying he's facing, of course, additional charges. But I mean, heck, he was already in there for capital murder, among other things. I mean, what else can he? He didn't have anything to lose. She had everything to lose, and she lost her life, and it's really sad. And I don't know her family. You know, it is. It's really unsafe. One of my viewers is saying it's really unsafe, and I mean, they were going on a 10-day hunt. I don't understand how she would even feel safe. But they had had a relationship for a long time. Of course, she did not just get in a relationship with this man. She had been in a relationship for a long time. I think like several years, and how it went unnoticed. I know some of the inmates, it was reported, they felt that he was receiving special treatment and all that kind of stuff. And of course, they were probably having intimate relations in the jail some way. But yeah, she actually committed suicide. And it's just, and another thing that was really ironic, both of their last names were White, and they had no type of relationship. They were not related, or anything. They just had the same name, White, and she ended up falling in love with him, and she risked her entire life. And what else I don't understand, she had to be a little unstable, and I'm wondering if this was her first time, because they said that she had a really clean record. She had no administrative write-ups or anything. But I'm wondering, because if she dated him for a long time and she got that close to him, where she resigned, like I think it was reported a day before she retired, that just seems like a whole lot to sacrifice just to be with this inmate that if you're an officer, you're gonna probably get caught. I don't know. It's really, 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 really sad. It's really, really sad. Moving right along, did you guys see or hear the video, an interview with Fat Joe and Wendy Williams? I viewed that a couple days ago. I just had not had a chance to come in and kind of talk to you guys about it. But what do y'all think about that interview? If you didn't see it, you need to go check it out on YouTube, because Wendy Williams, she was like all scattered. She was all over the place. Fat Joe was asking her questions about, is she healthy? Is she coming back to the show? Of course, Sherry Shepherd is coming out with her own show, and I believe it's going to be in her same time slot, because it was rumored that she was going to be getting an opportunity to do a podcast that was going to be worth a whole lot of money, right? And but it hasn't come into fruition yet. So it's just a rumor. However, she was really like scattered. He was asking her questions about her health. She said she's coming right back to the Wendy Williams show. I don't know. But what I don't understand is, how can a bank help me understand this? I know if someone is stealing your money, they can freeze it, things like that. But did you guys know that a bank can come in and freeze your money, and someone else tells them to freeze your money, unless they have power of attorney over her or something like that? But when Wendy was doing her show, before she just up and hit the road, she seemed like she had it all together. Now, I know she was going to rehab and all that, but she was functioning to the point where it didn't seem as if she would have anyone just take over all her assets and things like that. So I'm trying to figure out, is someone like giving her medication or slipping her something? It's very strange, because if you look at the interview with Fat Joe, he would ask her questions. She would go all off to the left on her questions and her answers. She would ask him things as opposed to answering the questions. And he was looking at her like, Wendy, are you all together there? She kept talking about her money, that she only has $2, or she doesn't have $2, that she is broke. Now, how can Wendy Williams be broke? Of course, it's because her money is frozen. But this long, how can that be when she has an adult son who seems to be fairly smart? I mean, he was in college. I think a lot of this kind of instability with Wendy, it seems like it happened after her mother passed. I don't know what you guys think, but to me, it seems like she kind of went left for real, after her mother passed. And it's really sad, because she went from this person that was in a really, really people were like almost idolizing her, to a point where she can't even make her own decisions now. She's taught her legs. Of course, she has that lymphedema or whatever, where her legs swell really bad, and she's constantly talking about her cats, and Joan Rivers gave her certain things when she was living, and she I don't know. I'm like, where is her family? Does she not have any really true relationship with her family? I know her brother said a few things about her at some point, but I don't know what's going on. I don't really think, in my opinion, she need to come back to that show. She doesn't need to be on a podcast. She don't need to be in front of anyone. She says she's coming back to her show, The Wendy Williams Show. I don't know, y'all. I personally don't think that she should be in the public eye doing any sort of real interviews or anything like that, because it really, when you look at her, it's almost kind of sad how a person can go from being like up here to almost to a point mentally. It's like you don't recognize her. I mean, it's as if she's talking about things way left. She only thing that I really know that she really is focused on, of course, is her money, because she says she can't use her American Express card. She can't do anything. Y'all need to check out Fat Joe's interview, because when I tell you, it was really sad. It doesn't even seem like it's Wendy Williams as we know her. So if y'all didn't see it, y'all really need to take a look at it. But I personally think that someone is behind it, and I think it's someone that's close to her that people least expect that's actually giving her something. I think they're putting something in her food. So it's something that's happening, because she's real unstable. And how someone goes from that point to this to the point she's at is crazy. And how a bank can come in and freeze your money like that if you're saying, "Hey, I want my money," and you work for it. That's scary. That's real scary. How they can come in and just take over your money like that. It's something off in that situation. But I wish Wendy all the luck. I really do. And I'm praying for her, because I really like Wendy when she was out doing her thing, even though she was a little brash sometimes. I like to see her moving and things like that. And her being in the position she's in right now is really, real sad. So anyway, praying for you, Wendy. Praying for you. Also, you guys, now I'm not gonna harp on this, but anybody that knows me, I'm taking my glasses off for this now, knows that I personally, rest his soul, I did not care for the messages that Kevin Samuels put out. Now, I would say I didn't care for Kevin Samuels, but I really, really didn't. But I didn't know him. God bless his soul. But I've been listening to a lot of kind of like conversations that's been going on, like on YouTube. I kind of like follow that. So because I come and I talk to you guys about it, but I've been following a lot of things that's being said about Kevin. And when I tell you, it, of course, men and women have different perspectives on that, right? And when I think of Kevin Samuels, I know I've heard some of his messages, his shows, and I was really offended by a lot of them, being a black woman, because it seemed that he was always attacking the black woman. It's like the last time I looked in the mirror, I looked at you, you were black, right? But he would always seem like he attacked black women. And now that he's deceased, of course, and the way he died was real crazy. I don't know, but it was real ironic the way he died. And I'm really waiting to hear more on this, because I really know that it's more behind his death. At least I feel that way. He used to drink those Red Bulls like all the time, and I would make comments about he is popping them Red Bulls like crazy. And anyone knows, I know, when my son was younger, he stayed with a friend and they gave him a Red Bull. And my husband sent him out to cut the grass. And we didn't know he had a Red Bull, because I never give my kids those hot caffeine drinks. They are terrible for you. And I end up having to take my son to the doctor because he was having chest pains and he was young and active. So I was always looking at him twisted, like he better ease up on those Red Bulls. But I thought maybe he had an endorsement or something, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he just liked them. So, but the way he died, they said it was cardiovascular related, but I don't know. I can't wait for the autopsy to come out, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about it to y'all, because I'm wondering what else happened, because I know he had cancer back in the day, but from appearance wise, looks can be deceiving. He seemed to be doing pretty well. He was a slender guy, but just because you're slender don't mean you healthy. And I don't know, it's just crazy how he passed, right? But I was listening to a podcaster. He was on YouTube talking. And let me put my little glasses on so I can tell you the name of the podcast now. It was Night and Day Network podcast, and it was on YouTube. And Vivica Fox actually went on, and she went into a spiel about Kevin Samuels right now. One thing, we back up. I feel bad that his mother found out about his death via the internet, right? But he was a celebrity, so something happens, it's hitting the internet. Unfortunately, I hate that that happens, especially as a mother that has lost a child. I would hate to find that out. I mean, finding it out, period, is hard, but definitely finding it out via the internet is crazy. But when I was listening to him talk today, the podcaster, and he was going all the way in on Vivica Fox, right? Vivica Fox did an interview, and she was talking about Kevin Samuels and how he always dumped on Black women, which his comments were negative. Now, I'm going to tell you, the perception of men and the perception of women with regards to Kevin Samuels and his death are totally different. And the reason for that is because he seemed to rally behind men, Black, white, green, or purple, but he always mainly talked about Blacks, of course. But women, Black women, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He dumped on them. If you were over a certain age, and even if you were younger than, I think, what he said, 35 or something like that, whatever it was, if you were younger, but especially if you were older, Kevin really dumped all over you. I've heard some real candid interviews that he went all the way in, and people was like, well, you basically, it is what it is. He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth when he was out here talking. Now that he's deceased, unfortunately, because I don't wish death on anyone, because he's someone's child, I don't know if he had children, but he was a nephew, he was a son or whatever. But so you don't want anyone to die. But the way that he passed was with the woman, and he kind of like killed over on the woman, which is what he was kind of known for, talking about relationships. And she happened to be a young woman. Some people say she was Spanish, some say Mexican, some say Hawaiian. I don't know what she was. I saw a little picture of her, but she was thick in them hips, and he always talked about thick women, right? So Vivica was saying that he was a hypocrite. She went all in on him on her interview. Check it out on YouTube. And the guy on that particular, on the podcaster, he was pissed off with Vivica. He was cursing. He was going all in, talking about Vivica relationship with 50 Cent, what she said she did to 50 Cent. He was like dumping all over her. He was all in on Vivica. But Vivica was not lying. You know what I'm saying? Vivica was telling the truth. He was not kind to Black women. And this is my thing. I don't listen to guys like Kevin Samuels, because he can't tell me nothing. He's one man, and he definitely can't speak for all men. And he would throw those statistics up. And if you look at one of my previous shows, I was like, people manipulate statistics how they want to. So I don't pay no attention to statistics. Okay. But life experiences, the way that I feel, he couldn't tell me anything about all men, because some men like them tall, some like them short, some like them thick, some like them thin, some like them light skinned, some like them dark skinned, some like them biracial, some like them Caucasian. You can't talk for all men. So I don't really pay attention to men that have negative things, because you listen to like a Steve Harvey and a Michael Basin, they kind of come with the same little vibe, but they put a different delivery on it. And this is my thing. I'm not saying that Kevin Samuels didn't have decent messages to say, but his delivery was the key. That's what everyone is missing. When men and the women are talking about Kevin Samuels' death, and they're upset that Black women, now I'm not for celebrating anyone's death. That's absolutely wrong, y'all. If you were doing that, then you shouldn't be doing that, because he was someone's child, uncle, relative, or whatnot, friend. But he wasn't nice. So Black women feel some sort of way about it. And I will tell you, some time ago, a while ago, don't quote me on it, but Steve Harvey, I heard him say, for him, once you become a certain age, he worked hard to get to where he is, I'm sorry. And it's not just about material things when you get to a certain point in life. You got all the Rolls Royces, the Bentleys, you got all the purses you can buy your wife and girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about the material things. This is what Steve Harvey said. He said once he got to a certain point in life, it was really about the legacy. What was he going to be remembered for when God called him home? He got to a point, well, of course, he want nice things. I mean, it is what it is. We all do, right? But his life was more than that. He didn't just focus on the material things in life. He wanted to think about his legacy. How people, what they gonna think and what they gonna say when they think Steve Harvey? They gonna think, he was a comedian. He can get gutter if he have to, but also he helped little boys. He had the foundation where he helped them in the summer. He was a good husband, good father. From what we know, he's been married a couple times, but he's good to his wife that he's with now. I don't know how he was to the other ones, but I've heard different things. But he's matured and he's learned from his mistakes, and that's what it's about to me. As you get older, we all want nice things, but it's really about what are people going to remember me by? When they say Carolyn or whoever, Lauren or Leasia, Lorraine, what are they going to say? Are you a good mother, a good father? What did you leave on in this world? What are they going to remember you by? So when you talk Kevin Samuels, unfortunately, his death was untimely, but people are always going to think about how negative he was to Black women. And guess what? The sad thing is about it, ain't nothing he can do to change that. People come to his defense, mostly men, and they get upset that people, women, in particular Black women, have negative things to say. But you can't expect people to just be like, because someone passed, to be like, oh, that person was a good person. Oh, that person was so nice. He helped this little old lady cross the street. Oh, he bought a homeless person, some food to eat. Well, I mean, maybe he did, but that never hit the air. All they're gonna remember is that he was negative and downgraded, and they felt that way, And he unfortunately had decent messages. Some of the messages I understood the underlying messages, but it was the delivery. And I think that's what men and women are getting. They're missing. They're missing his delivery, messed up the whole message. And I still don't understand why women was even calling him. You a woman, you know what you want better than anybody. You know what feels good, and if you can't find the person to make you feel good, it's going to treat you like a woman and make you feel good about yourself and love yourself enough. Love yourself enough. I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of character. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like men that are not nice. I like nice men. I like men that are going to be respectful. Even when I was a younger woman, if you're not respectful, you don't think about my children. I did have children, but if I'm a woman that didn't have them, then if you don't, you got to treat me good. And if I have children, you got to treat my children good. I know what feels good. I don't need anyone to tell me that. So I never understood why women were calling Kevin Samuels so much anyway, just to get kind of like almost dogged on a little bit. So, I mean, that's some self-esteem issues with the women, I think. But yeah, Vivica Fox, I feel you, Vivica. I felt exactly where she was coming from, and I knew where she was coming from. Kevin Samuels, unfortunately, rest in peace, brother. But the message was all messed up. I'm sorry. And I understand men are upset about it, but exactly. One of my viewers said you have to know your worth. And that's all it is. You got to know your worth. And no one has to tell you. And if you stand for everything, then people gonna give it to you, So anyway, enough of that. I'll be back. I'm gonna talk about everything when the autopsy, because the autopsy coming out, and people gonna be talking about the autopsy when the autopsy hit TMZ. So I'm coming back to talk to you all about that. Next. Now, y'all know I gotta touch on my reality TV, because I'm a reality TV junkie, right? So there is a new show coming out. I think it's Love and Marriage DC. My girl Monique Samuel and her husband Chris Samuel are going to be on that show. They're that's the main little couple on the show. I love Monique. Monique has always been a real person from TV now, from TV. I don't know how she is in real life, but she's finally got a show, her and her husband, and they're kind of like the headliners in it. And I'm so happy because when she was on Real Housewives of Potomac, she had gotten into if you don't watch reality TV, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But she was on Real Housewives of Potomac, and some of the girls on there, she got in an argument with this girl named Candace, and things went way left. Well, all the other girls kind of jumped on Candace's side because she's a little petite kind of girl, and she knows how to play the victim, but she has a big mouth. Okay. And so that day she wrote a check and Monique cashed it for her. So they felt as if Monique was wrong. They put Monique off of the show. I felt that they were totally wrong for that because she was always being rude to people, saying things she shouldn't say. And that particular day, she met Monique, the hood version, and Monique gave her what she was asking for. And Giselle, Robin, got behind them, and they was like, she need to go. I'm threatened by her and all this and that. Well, she's on OWN now, and she's gonna have a new show, and I think you guys need to support it. Love and Marriage DC. I am all there for it. It's gonna be a good show. At least I hope it is, and I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna come back and let y'all know what I think. But I love Monique. I'm happy for them. Her and her husband Chris. Congratulations. OWN is a great network. They're putting out a lot of African American shows that I'm very excited about that. So check that show out. Also, what do y'all think about the Real Housewives of Atlanta this year? Well, this season. I always say this year. I mean this season. What y'all think about that? Now, they got a lot of the cast from last season back. They had Drew back. Of course, you know Candy's a staple. She's coming back. Marlo finally got her peach. They bought Sheree, what name is Sheree? Whitfield back. She's back. Sheree, she hasn't really had a good storyline in a while, so I've got my eyes on her. And who else? They got this other girl named Sanya. She's like a Sanya. She's from Jamaica, but she's an Olympic gold medalist. So she's on the show. She looked like she's going to be a good contributor. But Marlo finally has her peach, and I think Marlo is going to be really good on the show. So I'm excited. But Drew, she's an actress. She was on that show, I believe, The Game. I think it was some time ago. But her husband, hey Nika, thanks for tuning in, honey. Her husband, Drew's husband on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, is so rude to her. I can't almost stand him. And I feel like he tries to mess with her self-esteem. And the last show, he has an assistant. Well, he had an assistant, and she was opposed to him having a female assistant. He was like, she's 50 years old. I was like 12 when she was born. And she was like, he really think I'm that stupid. Like, I mean, because you 50 don't mean nothing. 50 look good on a whole lot of people. So anyway, her husband is real rude to her. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on Drew. I don't know how things are gonna kind of move forward with them because she seems like she's kind of getting a little tired of it, and she's speaking up, and I'm glad of that. Candy and Todd, they do what they do. You know, she's gonna be on a production in Broadway, so her little storyline is gonna be she's gonna be going back and forth with that. And I tell you, Candy and Todd, I feel like their relationship is pretty solid, but I hope reality TV don't end up being the downfall of it because I like them together. They seem like they kind of complement each other. So I really hope being on this reality TV show doesn't be like the end all for them. And Cynthia's gone. Marlo seems like she's gonna have her own little storyline, what she's doing, her clothes, and her nephew. She has custody of her nephews. Her sister is in jail, so she's raising them. So I gotta kind of see how she evolved. Sheree, I gotta see what she bringing to the table because Sheree was kind of, you right, Nika, 50 looks real good, honey. And so anyway, I have to see how Real Housewives of Atlanta kind of shape. I stopped looking at it. I used to be a real fan of their show, and they kind of started going off to the left. And Nene is suing Andy and Bravo allegedly and all of this because she said there was a lot of racism. I don't know what was going on behind the scenes with Bravo and all that on the show, on the set. But she was like, they were showing a lot of favoritism to Kim Zolciak. Could be, could be. And she's suing. But to be honest with you, when Nene was on the show, honey, and Nene was doing real well, Nene started feeling herself a little too much. She was rude to the fans, and it was a lot of rumors there. So they didn't want her back. And unfortunately, after Greg passed, rest his soul, I think she felt that they would kind of bring her back and give her a storyline, but Andy didn't do it. So I think she was a little pissed with that. But I'm wishing her well, because her restaurant lounge, from what I see on the internet, is doing really well. But they didn't want her back on the show, so we just have to stay tuned with that. Also, Candy and the Gang. Candy and the Gang. Have y'all seen that show with Candy and her restaurant old lady gang? Oh, Nika, if you haven't watched it, it's good. It is good. You got to watch it from the beginning. First, when it came on, I was like, we want to look at a show about Candy and her restaurant. Because, you know, her restaurant, I don't think was doing as well as it initially was. And I was like, who want to watch that? I watch reality TV all the time, but that was not a show that was going to interest me. But I kind of peeked it, and then I peeked it again, and I was like, it's kind of interesting. Oh, you been to her lounge, Nika? I gotta go. I've been saying I'm gonna go, but you know I've been so busy. I'm gonna have to go. It looks like it's nice on. Is the food good? I don't drink though. I don't drink, but you know, I'm a natural kind of high person. I drink water, lemonade, cranberry juice. But what about the food? Is the food good, Nika? Because I really want to go there one day just to chill and check it out and see how it is. Let me know if the food good. Food good, I'm there. I'm going. I don't do no hookahs and all of that stuff, but I will go and dance and have a little fun. So let me know how the food is there, or if they just kind of have like appetizer type food. If they have real food, then I'm definitely going. But Candy has a cast member there that is so funny. I think his name is Brian. He's light skin. He wears wigs, and when I tell you, to me, out of all the people there, he makes the show. Y'all gotta watch Candy and the Gang. It's funny. I didn't think it was gonna be funny, but it is funny. And guess what? It kept my attention. I think the last episode was last week, or either they had one more show, but it was really good. Y'all need to check Candy and the Gang out. It's good. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. And last but not least, what about Love and Marriage Huntsville? Have y'all been watching that? I know y'all watch. I know that is. Oh, you went 2 weeks ago to Lanithia's. Oh, the food good? Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm there. I'm calling my sister. We gonna have to go. I definitely got to check it out. The food. If the food good, I'm going. I don't never get a chance to get out, but I'm gonna go try. I'm gonna go to her restaurant and see what time it is. But anyway, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now that is what? The salmon bites. Nika, don't make me have plans in the next couple of weeks to go there. Is it the atmosphere nice? Look, we talk about Lanithia, but I'm gonna check it out. Let me know if it's smoky though. If it's smoky, I can't go because I can't be getting the braids and the hair all smoked up. But if the atmosphere is nice and the food is good, then I'm definitely there. Last but not least, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Do y'all watch that show? Do y'all watch now? Out of all the reality TV shows, I would tell you Love and Marriage Huntsville is a good show. This year, I'm kind of waiting for it to kind of like really get where I want it to be. But Marceau is one of the men on the show. He has a brother on the show, and they're Scots. And when I tell you, I think he's cheating on his wife. I think he's cheating on his wife. And I think some of the skeletons about to fall out of the closet. For the last like 2 seasons, everybody's been focusing on Martell, and Melody, and his cheating and stuff like that. But I really think finally Marceau and them his mother-in-law say them 20 women's, well, we know it's women, but she always say 20 women's. I think his skeleton's about to come out the closet. They got a picture out with him being in a hotel room, and his wife, somebody said they agree. His wife, when I tell you, I like Letitia, but Letitia, and I could see the hurt. She tried to stand behind her husband, but I could see the hurt all up in her face. It shows, and she be trying to be strong, but I think his skeleton's about to fall out behind. And be honest with you, I really, really, really hope for her sake that there are no children out there. They said he had 20 women. 20 women, you gonna have a kid up in there somewhere. I'm sure of it, depending on how long them 20 women been around. But the rumor is he has multiple women and he was seen in a hotel with one. Why? If you got a woman got your back, you know gonna be ride or die. Oh, you gotta watch. You gotta watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. You gotta watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. One of my viewers have not seen it. Oh, Shanika distracted me. She telling me about the crowd at Lanithia. She says it's a grown atmosphere, and she likes that. And it's a good atmosphere. I'm gonna check it out, and I'm gonna come back and report and tell y'all how I like Lanithia to let you know if my girl Nika is on point. I'm going, and I'm gonna let you know. But Love and Marriage Huntsville is a good show because to me, it initially depicted couples like they had it all together. Like we want to see our African American couples, right? Our black couple families, the family unit together. They making money, they making shaking and baking, making things happen, and have nice houses and doing well, right? Well, what you see is not what always you get. Things been crumbling down, and when I tell you that if you haven't seen it, I would say marathon it, honey. Marathon Love and Marriage Huntsville. Marathon it. It's a good show. And come back and let me know what you think because I always talk about reality TV. That is my joint, as they say. I love reality TV. So if you haven't watched Love and Marriage Huntsville, you got to check it out. But when I tell you this weekend, I'm going to be on fire. So y'all need to check it out. Yes, this weekend. But a lot of things are going to come out the closet. A lot of things. And you know what? Martell, he's finally getting back on the right track. He was married to Melanie. He was married to Melanie, which was one of the stars on the main people on the show. They're divorced now, of course, because he cheated and had a baby on the outside, you know. But when I tell you it's a good show, if you like reality TV. Like me, I try with everything I've been through, I try to find something that's funny to kind of take me away. I don't take reality TV serious. I look at it just for entertainment. So if you're not a person that's really like, ooh, why they doing that? And ooh, why they depicting black men in this way? And then you will like the show. Cause it's the men on there sometimes they be a little, like get yourself together. You got a good wife behind you. Stop cheating. Just stop cheating. Like why you can't work things out with your woman? Why you gotta be out here tiptoeing with women and child. It's a good show though. Check it out. Let me come back. Let me know how you like it. Okay. So you gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. So I think that's all. I just want to bring y'all update on a few things that was going on this Tuesday. And also to let you know that on Thursday, I'm gonna have a really great guest. She is from Israel, Jerusalem, and she is a college lecturer, and she has 6 children, and most of them have ADHD. And she's going to be talking to us about how she deals with it and how she, how things work in her family and her family dynamics and how she flourishes in spite of having 6 children with hyperactive disorder. I can't wait to hear her story. But I will be posting it and letting you guys know when I'm going to be going live. We're supposed to go live on Thursday. So I'll post all the information after I confirm the time and let you guys know. But anyway, thank you. Okay, yes. One of my users says she's going to start watching. And when you watch it, please let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm on point. It's a good, but you got to go back to the beginning. So if you can, if you can kind of go back and watch all the episodes, check it out. And I think it's been maybe it's like their 3rd season, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. But if you can go back to the beginning so you can kind of follow it, that would be great. If not, you can pick it up, try to pick it up from at least last year or the year before. Honey, it was hot. You will like it, trust me. But anyway, I will see you guys on Thursdays. Thanks for tuning in with me today. I enjoyed it. Love you guys and have a great rest of your day.